What are Jin and Yenna hiding? Why did their song make the ARMY cry and HYBE's staff jitter? Is all this just for fan meetings, or is there a hidden code they want to convey? When Dingo Music released a live performance that was supposed to be a happy moment for fans, instead, a poignant question arose. Is BTS's Jin really okay? Why did Yenna look at Jin with an unusual look in her eyes while singing Loser? And what shook the most? Whether BTS staff secretly leaked that all this is Jin's form of silent resistance to HYBE's pressure. ARMY began to dig, and the results gives us the creeps. Do you feel it too? Something went wrong with Jin's smile when she sang Don't Say You Love Me with Yenna on the Dingo Music stage. There was a strange tremor, a kind of gesture from someone who wanted to say something without actually saying it. ARMY, as always, never misses the slightest detail, and this time, they caught a very surprising signal. The song harbors a hidden message, even a silent, wound-filled cry from the genie herself. But who hid the message? And why? The collaboration between BTS's Jin and Yenna should be a triumphant stage, especially considering that this is part of the promotion of Jin's second solo album titled Echo. But the opposite is true. ARMY actually captures the melancholy aura in the harmony of their voices, like there's a story that wants to come out, but it can only be conveyed through lyrics and tears. Is the song Loser just about love that ran aground? Or deeper than that, about someone tired of pretending to be strong in the spotlight of the world? It's not just the lyrics that are confusing. Even the expression on Yenna's face when looking at Jin caused a wave of speculation among fans. It's like he knows something we don't. A secret. Something big enough that HYBE's own internal staff reportedly started panicking after the performance was released. One of the staffers, who is said to have been involved in BTS management, said anonymously, "We had suggested that Jin not take on a busy schedule, but he insisted. Because of that one song. Because of that message." One song? ARMY also wondered, what is meant by one song is not enough? Why did the second song with Yenna suddenly appear? Is there something that cannot be said openly so that the genie chooses the subtlest, yet most painful, way to express it? The lyrics of Don't Say You Love Me, if examined further, as if implying separation, fatigue, even betrayal. But who is betrayed? And by whom? Is it about HYBE? News circulated from the internal environment that Jin had asked for a longer break before the promotion of the second album, Echo, especially after the news of his mother's condition, who was sick, had become the subject of discussion among fans. But surprisingly, he was actually asked to appear in several series of fan meetings, as well as an impromptu promotion with Yenna. This is not just speculation. One member of the production team called Jin too quiet, even when the camera isn't on. Then why does he keep doing it? One possibility that gave ARMY goosebumps was the suggestion that Jin inserted his feelings in the song, not for fans, but as a personal message to someone. And when the song was performed live, with Yenna on such a large platform as Dingo Music, it was no coincidence. It was a stage. Not for entertainment, but as a way to convey a message that has been suppressed. ARMY also dissected the lyrics for the sake of lyrics. Words like, "You never fought for me" in the song Don't Say You Love Me, or a fragment of, "I'm just a loser in your world," in Loser, are considered more than a metaphor for love. Many suspect it is a reflection of Jin's feelings towards pressure from management, towards excessive expectations that continue to pressure him, even when his health is at stake. Why isn't anyone really listening to him? Wrote an ARMY in the international fanbase community. We were all busy enjoying the visuals and the beautiful sound, and he was screaming through the lyrics. This comment went viral, and since then, analysis after analysis has sprung up. Some even found strange patterns in the structure of the song, as if there were Morse messages or hidden clues leading to important dates in the genie's life. One of the most surprising theories is that the song was created in response to HYBE's unilateral decision to delay the release of the album Echo, then suddenly speed it up again after public pressure. So, is Don't Say You Love Me actually not an ordinary love song, but a form of Jin's disillusionment with his own agency? And did Yenna know that and chose to stand with him on stage in solidarity? Yenna looks very sincere. But his gaze implies a burden, said one fan on Twitter. Another added, they're not just singing, they're breaking free. But free yourself from what? Is this about the Korean music industry system being too harsh on idols? Or about the fact that even a BTS genie can feel, not heard? This suspicion was further strengthened when the ARMY discovered that Jin's recent schedule was unreasonably tight, even compared to the period before he was drafted into the ARMY. Fan meetings, photo shoots, performance rehearsals, and various album promos were carried out in a very short time. She even looks thinner than usual, and that's not a camera effect, wrote a fan who attended one of the fan meetings in person. Did HYBE deliberately encourage Jin to appear as if everything was fine in order to cover up her true condition? And if so, why did BTS's own internal staff end up leaking all this to the public? Are they starting to feel guilty? Or afraid of the repercussions that would come if Jin really fell ill in the middle of a forced promotion schedule? This isn't the first time the ARMY has felt compelled to save their own idols. But this time, everything feels more real, because that emotional evidence has been recorded in the form of voices and songs. And unlike rumors that can be refuted, Jin's voice and her tears cannot be erased. Now all eyes are on HYBE. The public demanded answers. Fans demand clarity. But the most heartbreaking thing is, why didn't Jin himself say anything? Is he under contract? Or does he still wish we could understand enough just from his songs? And while the fans continue to replay Jin and Yenna's live performances, digging into every word, every note, and every expression, one big question hangs in the air, like an echo of the Echo song itself. Is one song enough to save someone who is struggling secretly? And if the answer is no, then perhaps even 2 songs are not enough. But at least it was a call for help that finally sounded. Meta description, opening hook. What are Jin and Yenna hiding? Why did their song make the ARMY cry and HYBE's staff jitter? Is all this just for fan meetings? Or is there a hidden code they want to convey? When Dingo Music released a live performance that was supposed to be a happy moment for fans, instead, a poignant question arose. Is BTS's Jin really okay? Why did Yenna look at Jin with an unusual look in her eyes while singing Loser? And what shook the most? Whether BTS staff secretly leaked that all this is Jin's form of silent resistance to HYBE's pressure. ARMY began to dig. And the results gives us the creeps. Did you feel it too? Something went wrong with Jin's smile when she sang Don't Say You Love Me with Yenna on the Dingo Music stage. There was a strange tremor, a kind of gesture from someone who wanted to say something without actually saying it. ARMY, as always, never misses the slightest detail, and this time, they caught a very surprising signal. The song harbors a hidden message, even a silent, wound-filled cry from the genie herself. But who hid the message? And why? The collaboration between BTS's Jin and Yenna should be a triumphant stage, especially considering that this is part of the promotion of Jin's second solo album titled Echo. But the opposite is true. ARMY actually captures the melancholy aura in the harmony of their voices, like there is a story that wants to come out, but it can only be conveyed through lyrics and tears. Is the song Loser just about love that ran aground? Or deeper than that? About someone tired of pretending to be strong in the spotlight of the world? It's not just the lyrics that are confusing. Even the expression on Yenna's face when looking at Jin caused a wave of speculation among fans. It's like he knows something we don't. A secret. Something big enough that HYBE's own internal staff reportedly started panicking after the performance was released. One of the staffers, who is said to have been involved in BTS management, said anonymously, "We had suggested that Jin not take on a busy schedule, but he insisted. Because of that one song. Because of that message. Because after that emotional appearance, there was no clarification from HYBE. There was no statement about Jin's condition, no explanation of the back-to-back fan meeting schedules, not even a single acknowledgement that the performance had sparked a wave of deep concern among fans. They chose silence, as if hoping that this storm would pass them by. But the ARMY is no ordinary spectator. They are not just fans who are satisfied with the songs and visuals. They are eyes, ears, and hearts that pay attention to every detail that even the world does not care about. And they are, will not be silent. The lyrics of Don't Say You Love Me became a kind of mantra for the army who felt betrayed by the system they had believed in. The song is not only painful, but like a slap. The lyrics read, You say it's over, but you don't leave. You say you care, but you don't see me bleed. Was it a picture of Jin's relationship with the management who claimed to care, but never really saw his exhaustion and suffering? Or more than that, was it a message to all of us who loved him, but FA? But what if we actually heard about it in the first place but chose to ignore it? The performance was not just a musical performance. It's not just a promotional project. It was a stage of silent recognition. There are so many things that are not said directly, but are delivered in tone, with heavy breathing in every stanza, and with lyrics that are too honest for mere drama. From the beginning, Jin was known as a member of BTS who most often covered his sadness with a smile. But this time, ARMY knew full well, the smile was hollow. Even when the song ends and the camera slowly closes its face, there is no gesture of relief as usual. All that remains is to highlight empty eyes. Yenna, beside him, looked like she was holding back tears. A few seconds after the camera stopped recording, witnesses said Jin immediately sat down and closed his eyes in a long silence. She patted his shoulder, but said nothing, and here's what surprised the most. The next leak from insiders mentioned that the song, Don't Say You Love Me, was not originally included in the original plans for the Echo album. The song was only added after Jin returned from the hospital where his mother was being treated. In the initial version, the album only contains songs themed healing and hope. But suddenly, just 2 weeks before the scheduled recording of the final, Jin asked that this song be included, along with Loser, with one condition: it must be performed live, in the most minimalistic arrangement, so that the original emotions are not lost. He said he wanted to appear without a mask. A source from the production team said, I don't want to use auto-tune. I don't want choreography. Don't want fancy lighting. He just wanted to sit, sing, and deliver a message. The big question arises, whose message is it for? Is this message for his fans who have been supporting him endlessly? Or is it for those who work behind the scenes, who all this time may have been too focused on commercial success and forgot that the genie is a person, not a stage machine? Or is it a message to himself, a kind of recognition that even a person as strong as he is can feel defeated? The lyrics of Loser further raise the question, I lose myself every night just to smile for you in the morning. A sentence so simple, yet so painful. Is Jin saying that he has to lose himself every night just to be BTS Jin in the morning? And what about Yenna? A figure who has been known to be cheerful, colorful, and energetic. But in this appearance it looks as if he bears the burden with Jin. Is he really just a collaborator? Or does he have a deeper personal affinity, one that allows him to feel Jin's wounds before the world even realizes it? Some fans found that Yenna once wrote captions on her social media accounts that now feel very relevant. In an old post he wrote, Not everyone needs to know your pain. Those who are not afraid to sit in silence. Words that suddenly felt like the introduction to 2 tearful songs they performed together. But then, why is all this being done in the middle of a fan meeting schedule? Why did HYBE keep putting pressure on Jin with a busy schedule when she was just facing the toughest time of her life? ARMY began to reassemble the puzzle pieces. A few days before Dingo's performance was released, Jin's schedule appeared in various promotions, including global commercials and offline album signings. There are no breaks. There is no transition period. He was instantly thrown back into the world of celebrities, as if grief and fatigue were just a small part that did not need to be considered. This is where the anger starts to show. We love her, but they force her. One fan wrote on Twitter, We want to see him smile, not hold back tears for the sake of preserving the image. If he needs a break, give him that. Don't sacrifice your health for momentum. Online petitions have also sprung up. Thousands of soldiers signed an open call for HYBE to issue an official statement on Jin's condition and explain their decision to keep Jin in the promotion despite his not fully recovered condition. But until now, there has been no response, and this only makes the wound even bigger. Even more shocking, one of the big fan sites claimed to have been informed that Jin had wanted to cancel performing at Dingo Live the day before the recording, but ended up staying present after a long conversation with Yenna.
What are they talking about?
What made him change his mind? Some ARMY suspected that Yenna was persuading him not because of the schedule or the contract, but